You've probably noticed this already. A team suddenly gets access to a new AI tool. People are told to experiment with it. Managers start asking who's using AI in reviews. Then one person finishes a task in half the time, and somehow everyone else becomes harder to justify. Something about it feels off. The strange part is how fast the tone changed. A year ago, AI sounded like a helpful assistant. Now it sounds closer to a requirement. And the pressure rarely arrives directly. Nobody says your job is at risk. They just ask who's adapting fastest. It starts feeling like those disaster movies where everyone acts calm while moving toward the exit at the same time. At first, the explanation sounds obvious. Technology changes. People need new skills. That part is real. But it doesn't explain why entire companies suddenly behave as if AI adoption is tied to survival itself, especially when most of them still don't fully know how to use it. Look closer at what actually changes after the AI push begins. A senior employee spends years becoming reliable. They understand systems, edge cases, client behavior. They solve problems before anyone notices them. Then a new type of measurement appears. How quickly can work move? How many tasks can one person handle? How dependent is the team on specific individuals? Suddenly, the employee producing 10 AI-assisted drafts looks more scalable than the person preventing expensive mistakes. And this is where people get confused, because the quality gap is still obvious. Most AI-generated work still needs correction. Managers know this. Yet the pressure continues anyway. That contradiction matters. Here's a pattern that keeps repeating. Two analysts work on the same report. One spends 4 hours validating numbers and fixing context issues. The other finishes in 40 minutes using AI. During the meeting, leadership praises the faster turnaround first. Then they quietly ask the first analyst why the process still needs so much manual effort. Not because the work is better, because the signal matters more than the result. The signal says, this team can operate with fewer people. That's the real shift. Performance reviews start sounding different too. How are you using AI in your workflow? Which tasks have become faster? Where can automation reduce dependency? Sometimes managers already know the answers. They're watching how people react to the pressure itself. The language stays professional. The meaning changes underneath. Companies are not only testing AI, they are testing how lean the system can become without breaking. That doesn't mean AI is fake, and it doesn't mean mass replacement is happening tomorrow. The uncomfortable reality sits somewhere in the middle. AI is useful, very useful in some roles. But many companies are also using AI as cover language during cost reduction periods. AI transformation sounds cleaner than, we overhired, or we need margins to improve. Then competitors start making similar announcements. Every company follows the pattern, even the ones still struggling to integrate AI properly. That's why organizations with weak AI systems still push employees aggressively toward adoption. The pressure becomes cultural before it becomes technical. Here's the part most people miss. The system rewards people who reduce uncertainty while working alongside AI. That changes everything. The valuable employees right now are usually not the loudest AI advocates. They are the ones who can still think clearly when AI gives polished nonsense. Because eventually, every company discovers the same problem. If everyone produces faster output, the new scarcity becomes judgment, and systems protect scarcity. The system doesn't reward the fastest employee. It rewards the person whose absence creates risk. That's why some workers feel strangely safe even during layoffs. Not comfortable, just harder to remove than the spreadsheet expected. The fear becomes strongest when people stop understanding what's actually being measured. It looks like AI adoption. Sometimes it's really workforce filtering. You start noticing certain employees getting invited into strategic calls earlier. Others stop hearing about decisions until after they're finalized. And once you notice that, performance reviews start sounding very different, especially the ones focused on adaptability. The next phase probably won't remove work entirely. It will divide people differently. One group supervises systems, another group gets measured against them.